33 News, a WYTV special report. Stream Makeover My Hometown, the Mahoning Valley Project. Here's your host, Angie Shaker.
Good evening. Over the last 2 months, we've been telling you the story of a group of local businessmen who stepped forward to help a family from Canfield realize their dream, having a brand new home. Tonight, the highlights of that story and the heartwarming it has brought to everyone involved. To begin our story, it cannot be stated enough. We live in a community rich in culture and generosity. Last year, WYTV was involved in Extreme Makeover My Hometown, which created the Big Reach Center of Hope for the Greenford Christian Church. Now, Gina Marinelli takes us back to mid-October and introduces us to Rebecca Bailing and her family.
Rebecca Bailing has no idea what's about to happen as she pulls into her driveway Sunday evening. Her boss, the Mahoning County Sheriff, is standing there along with dozens of strangers.
Rebecca Bailing?
And in an instant, this single mother of three is about to hear how a group of several local businessmen, Donnie Murphy, Sam Pitzulo, Steve Bott, John Morvay, Joe Reinthaler, and Jim Rock, are about to help turn around her life with a new house.
We're going to tear this one down and build a new home for you.
She's a full-time deputy with the Mahoning County Sheriff's Department. She also works 2 part-time jobs and goes to school at YSU. She and her children have lived at this home on Shields Road for 4 years, and since the day they moved in, it was bad news. It started with an infestation of bugs and went downhill.
Then the water tank broke and the ceiling fell in the water. The house is shifting off the foundation, so the water was coming up underneath, so, wetting the floors. I put new carpet down, but they got wet and moldy, and we started getting sick.
And you can see the problems from the minute you walk into the house, starting with the living room.
This gets so wet that the paint is just peeling off, falling off daily.
Rebecca says she was mainly concerned with getting her children into the Canfield school system, and she felt she'd be able to swing the payments. Her mistake, never hiring a home inspector before she bought the house for $83,000. And the problems aren't just inside.
It was a dream. This house, when I first looked at it, there was no mud, there was no nothing,
But there was sewage being dumped into the backyard, holes in the roof covered by a plastic tarp, mice and black mold. The list goes on. A local car dealer whose children play pee-wee football with Rebecca's oldest son heard about the conditions and decided to help.
Youngstown, Ohio, the Mahoning Valley is the greatest place in the country. Go to California, go to New York and try to get the donations that our people has given. It's impossible, you can't, but we do it here.
So Rebecca is getting a whole new house and furniture. This one will be torn down and a new one will be built.
We're going to make it happen in 30 days. One of the big concerns is it has to be built right, it has to be sound. We're not looking for speed, and that's kind of why we're going for 30 days instead of a week.
Rebecca says she's overwhelmed by the generosity.
It makes me believe that there are people out there that help people, which is really nice. It's nice to know that people out there care.
A week later, Rebecca's dream come true started taking shape, and after living for years in a deplorable home, the Bailings watched as their old house came crashing down. Gina Marinelli continues our look back.
It's something Rebecca Bailing has long dreamed of, and today it became a reality for her. The house she bought 4 years ago on a wing and a prayer is finally getting torn down. The house became a nightmare, raw sewage in the yard. The house itself sliding off the foundation, exposed live electrical wires, mold, mice, you name it, the house had it. It was a worst-case scenario for the single mom going to school at YSU and working 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
I really wanted to knock the house down several times. It always was making me nuts, so being able to do that for the first time was great.
Several area businessmen heard about Rebecca's problem and decided to help out. They've arranged to have a new home built as well as all new furniture. The whole idea is local people helping local people.
There are so many great people in this community, and they're all jumping in. They're all calling, saying, what can we do to help? And there's still things that we do need help with. We need volunteers, we need resources, we need time. I mean, there's a lot of things that take play in a project like this, and we need all the help we can get.
Volunteering to build the home is Sam Pitzulo, but he can't do it all.
Definitely day labor. We could use a ton of day labor. We could use some individuals that want to do roofing. We have all the material donated by a company. There's a half a dozen people out there that are painters. We could use the help there too.
The businessman planned to have the new house ready for Rebecca and her 3 children in 30 days. They're sending her to Disney World for a week, and she'll be living elsewhere until move-in day. And she's forbidden to even drive down the street to take a peek before that, something she says won't be a problem.
No, actually I have no desire. I like surprises. I like being surprised, and I'd rather be able to see it in a completion rather than see the progress, because I think it'll just be really cool. So.
And with their old house torn down and hauled away, the work never stopped, even though Mother Nature wasn't cooperating at first. A day after demolition, crews poured concrete for a brand new foundation and basement. Once that was set, work could continue on the rest of the home, all to be finished in just a month. And when we continue, the work continues on the Bailing home as the house begins taking shape right before our eyes. I'm Angie Shaker. Welcome back to our special report on the recently completed home makeover Mahoning Valley project. As the work continued, dozens and dozens of volunteers gave of their time and materials. Having such a tight schedule to work with, the project forged ahead morning, noon, and night. Special lights and generators were brought in to illuminate the house after dark. Within a week of demolition, the frame of the new 2-story colonial is already in place, with everything under roof within a matter of days.
Doors and windows will go in early Thursday, so kind of 2 days and a couple hours this house will be from block to ready for shingles.
While the house was quickly taking shape, the people behind the project were still trying to obtain the supplies and materials they needed, always aware of the deadline to have the new house ready by December 1st. Gina Marinelli went back to the Bailing house in early November to check on its progress.
In less than 2 weeks, the project is clearly moving along. This is the first time builder Sam Pitzulo has been on such a tight schedule. Usually he takes his time, taking months to build. This house has a 30-day limit, but he's dealt with the challenges like rain that put them a few days behind schedule.
Typically when we build a house, we bring one trade contractor in at a time, the heating contractor, the next day is the plumber, 2 days later the electrician. We have everyone here today just about. It is kind of hectic, but basically I just took my normal schedule and condensed it.
And everyone working on the house is volunteering their time and skills.
Those guys on the roof, those people inside that brought us back to schedule. And it's just overwhelming. These guys, they're not walking, they're running. I mean, these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's not just professionals. Students at the Mahoning County Career and Technical Center are also in on the project.
They're using it as a class project for the day, and they have been giving us 2 or 3 kids per day anyway, so they're gathering some great experience also.
But they are still in need of skilled tradesmen for the coming week.
We really are hurting for drywallers, okay, and that's actually drywall hangers. We are pretty covered on finishers, but we will not turn anybody away. If we can get finishers, we'll take them, but we really need people, if they would, experienced drywall hanger people, and that will be done on next Wednesday.